Alright, what is up guys? This is the 2015 Lexus RC F, and we're going to be doing a little POV drive on some winding roads and some straightaways to get a feel for the car. So this is the key fob. It comes in a little F Sport pouch. It's a very nice touch. It does have keyless, so you put your foot on the brake, starts right up. You can hear that 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. So reach ahead and grab my seatbelt. Over there, and let's put up the active rear spoiler, put it in drive, push it to the left for manual mode. Down here you have your drive modes. You have eco, you can push down for normal, and then if you push it to the right you can put it in sport. You have your torque vectoring differential, we'll put that in they have track, slalom, and standard. We'll put it in slalom mode so we can get the best steering weight. You have a snow mode, which we don't need that. Traction control off, and it's wet outside. We're definitely not going to do that. 467 horsepower to the rear wheels. We're not going to do that at all. On a rear defrost. It's on the front defrost. Lost traction right there. So this car does have, as I said, 467 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Naturally aspirated V8, 5 liters. On the instrument cluster, you'd have a bunch of driver assistance, not driver assistance, but you have a bunch of information about the car. You have, under the F menu, you have your G-force meter, you have tire pressure, rear wing position, torque distribution. So if I turn it, you can see it varies a little bit. Lap timer. So let's leave it on G-force. As you guys can see, this car mixed with rain, you gotta be very careful with this car. It will lose its tail very easily. As you can see, traction control kicks in every single time. If you turn off traction control, this car is a complete nightmare. So I really don't recommend doing that unless you're somewhere that there's nothing around. This car is, if you just traction control off in this car is very dangerous, risky. You know, if the conditions were not as wet, this car, I've never really driven this car in dry weather, but I feel like if on dry roads this car would handle extremely well, especially with this torque vectoring differential. Just to put that out there. But yeah, so just to clarify, traction control has been on this entire time. I'll demonstrate traction control off.
Really? Why?
Let's turn traction control off, put it into first. I just kind of lost the tail right there, and it doesn't cut power to the engine, so it just revs all the way up to about 7,000-8,000. It's a very high revving engine. You gotta have a lot of torque up top. Down low, you have torque down low too. It does bang shift, so if you're in first and you definitely does from first to second gear bang shifts. Bang gears, I mean. So up front you do have 6-piston brakes. To the back you have 4-piston Brembos. Standard. So thing that you do get with this car compared to its competitors, such as the M3, the new M3, is the sound. The new M3 6-cylinder turbocharged does not sound anything like this, but compared to the brand new turbocharged, the twin turbo C63, obviously the C63 is going to be better because AMG and their exhausts, you know how that is. But for what it is, a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 stock sounds pretty good. If you put on, I know Army Tricks has an exhaust for this car. Any exhaust in this car would sound pretty good. So this car does have an active rear spoiler. I'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit. It's with the performance package, it's carbon fiber rear spoiler. It does go up in eco mode. If you put in eco mode, it'll go up at about 80 miles an hour, and in any other mode, it'll go up at 50 miles an hour, and it'll go up and down automatically. Or you can manually raise the rear spoiler, which I always do because it looks cooler. And along with the performance package, I said there is a torque vectoring differential with standard, solemn, and track modes. As for drive modes, this car does have eco. I'll put in eco mode. That'll change the gauges, as you can see. Changes the gauges, gives me an economical kind of Prius-ish gauge. And if I'm putting my foot halfway down, full down, and it doesn't want to give me power. But if I push this down, put it in normal, that's good for everyday driving. And then there's sport, that changes the gauges once again. Stiffens the steering. And then last but not least, you have Sport Plus, which disables a lot of the safety systems. And I don't want to do that in this weather, but you do have that. And that changes the gauges, gives you an analog, a very nice analog rev counter. And then last but not least, you have an expert mode, which I have no idea how to get into. I have no idea how to get into, and what that does is that disables absolutely everything. So you know, if these roads were dry, these would be ideal roads for this car. Rear-wheel drive V8, but unfortunately it is very rainy today, so the roads are wet, and you know, with these Pilot Super Sports, it's gonna be hard. You know, basically every time I put my foot down, traction control kicks in and just cuts power. So you gotta know, traction control is very active in this car. If you disable it, then in conditions like this, you're done. The brakes in this car are very good. They grab very well. So brakes are not an issue. You really don't need carbon ceramic brakes in this car because the Brembos, the 6-piston Brembos, work very well. And I have noticed occasionally it will blip downshifts. Let's see if it'll do it now. It's not going to let me downshift. It'll give you a little audible beep when it wants you to upshift. You can go in and configure that however you like, but I just have that set on. Set to on. Let's go straight actually. One thing that I have noticed, along with my other friends that we've noticed, is this car does not feel fast, although it is very fast. You know, one second you're going 30, the other second you're going 60, but it's not like the C63 where you know you're going fast because you can hear it. You have all these, it feels fast. This car, it just goes fast. You don't really feel it. You know, it's really in the upper rev range. Once you pass 4,000 RPM, the exhaust really opens up and gives you a nice growl. Below that, it's kind of quiet. So I'll demonstrate that after this car passes. parking brake, but it's a foot brake, so you don't have any mechanical handbrake in this car. But then again, neither does the C63, but I believe the M3 does. So if you want a handbrake, this car's not going to have it. Let's see how the exterior sounds. Exhaust. So we'll go here. This car does come with a backup camera and parking sensors, front and rear.